Minutes with One Voice. I'm John Guzik with the Franklin Partnership here in Washington, D.C. With the U.S. House and Senate out of session this week, I want to talk a little bit about July 4th. This past weekend, we celebrated freedom from the COVID virus. We also celebrated our independence. You can almost see the psyche of our nation changing. I saw it last week when I took my son to historic Philadelphia. We visited Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, American Revolution Museum. 245 years ago, statesmen like Ben Franklin, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, they came to Philadelphia to not only craft a Declaration of Independence, but to debate the weighty issues of the day: taxes, tariffs, racial equity. Well, our country has changed a lot in the last 245 years. Many of those same issues remain the same today. Back then, colonists were debating the Townshend Act, where they're having to pay increased taxes on glass, on lead, and on paper. Today, we're rolling back tariffs on liquor, on motorcycles, steel and aluminum tariffs. In 1764, the Brits instituted the Currency Act, which prevented the colonists from printing their own currency. Today, we're dealing with currency manipulation with our trading partners. In 1765, Britain adopted the Stamp Act, would put higher taxes and tariffs on newspaper, playing cards, and dice, a lot of the favorite recreational activities of the time. Today, the Congress is looking at raising taxes on gasoline, the gasoline tax, and a user fee tax for electric vehicles. Now, I'm not suggesting that we are close to a revolution in this country. What I am saying is the issues that this country faces are very difficult, and they often remain the same over the years. When the Continental Congress was creating the Declaration of Independence, our tour guide at Independence Hall reminded us of the sage words of Benjamin Franklin, that we all hang together or we hang separately. Back then, bitter enemies, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, they didn't see eye to eye very often, but they came together for the good of this country. Unfortunately, we don't see a lot of that in Washington today. And I'm hopeful during this Independence Day celebration that our policymakers in Washington have reflected back on these early statesmen to recognize what they have done for the good of this country. Happy birthday, America. Thank you for participating in 2 Minutes with One Voice.